Alright, I'm back with the Lucky, Unlucky Chosen One, episode 2. So, I'm gonna run this until I die. Usually this is where I died before, but I'm gonna try to escape. Well, what do you know? I escaped. Maybe I am lucky after all. But we're gonna make our way down here to the Rambling Forest. Another success, to see why it rambles. I'm hungry though, so I'm gonna get me a bite to eat. And keep heading that way. Looks like we got a little storm brewing, but I'm the lucky one, so I should be fine. Need a caravan, so maybe I can buy me some food, possibly. You gotta identify the leader here. He's the one that's not carrying a weapon. Maybe bad news on his part. He don't have what I'm looking for, but I will grab that piece of meat. And that hat will give me a little bit of survival ability. That's why I'm walking so slow. On episode 1 I showed my stats, but it's a lucky build just for novelty and fun. Not recommended if you're wanting an easy ride through this for sure. I don't know what they call luck, but I think it's more like for luck everybody around you. But here we go. There is the Rambling Forest. We're going to meet some weirdos by campfire and have a little discussion. We'll see how this goes. But first I'm going to put on my hat. Might as well. It gives me 3 survival. There we go. You see a pensive-looking man around 40 years old, or maybe 50 already, entirely rubbing his forehead with his thumb and index finger. He's looking through you, through his tiny fire, and through the woman standing opposite him. The darkness of the deep night surrounding you and the uneven, constantly flickering lights of the fire prevents you from determining not only the man's approximate age, but even his facial features. Everything about him looks blurry, covered in haze. The only thing you can see clearly is the worn-out trench coat. It's gray except for about a dozen patches sewn on it in haste. It's worn into holes. Apart from that, your gaze is drawn to a whole armory of radio parts sticking out of the wide, partially torn pockets of the traveler's unsophisticated apparel. You also take note of a retractable Yagi antenna, a whole bunch of transistors, and even a blowtorch. Those serpentine-like cables go deep into the man's suit. As he notices you, the man flinches, and with a precise, well-practiced move, draws from underneath his coat something that looks like a pile of metal scraps pressed into a cylinder a half-meter long. The man's frightened eyes meet yours as he points the mysterious aggregate right at you. Whoa, traveler, not a step closer. You see this thingy? It's a cryo gun, that's right. I assemble it myself through the following blueprints of the Young Engineers magazine. That's where the liquid comes from. Shoots nitrogen right from there. The man points at a rust-eaten tank of butane attached to the device. You'll freeze in an instant. You'll just turn into an icicle, after which a small hammer will shoot out of this barrel and you'll be blown to smithereens. Do I make myself clear? I'm not being too scientific, am I? to smithereens. Not a single doctor will be able to put you together after that. Once a man, now a Chinese puzzle. A Lamarchin's box, so there. The man gets silent, evidently hoping that the speech he just gave you will make you flee. Enough scaring me. I come in peace with good intentions. The man exhales with a whistle and happily lets go of the intricate cylinder. As it hits the ground, it falls into parts, turning into extension cord, a metal pile, and a set of radio parts that the man immediately grabs together with the dirt and begins stuffing it in his coat pockets. This is most welcome. It's very, very good, because in fact, most everything I just said was a bluff. No, don't think of me as some low-life liar, but we, the last of the servants of science, those who are trying to grab the bird of enlightenment by the tail, are not trained in martial arts. I personally am not even skilled in the domestic creation in that area, the mighty and moderately frightening Sambo. The device that may have shocked you is just an assembly of random parts fastened together with an extension cord. But now that my proverbial cards have been laid on the table, how can I help you? I have a couple of questions, if I may. The man smiles and apprehensively rubs the bridge of his nose. Please do ask. Who are you exactly? The man grunts and proudly extends his hands. Anastas Borida, self-taught physicist at your service, and how my unexpected interlocutor known to this world. Nice to meet you. They call me the lucky, unlucky chosen one. Without asking permission, the man grabs your hands and starts shaking it energetically. Nice to meet you, chosen one. I am glad to see you in the ranks of our scientific concilium that consists of you, me, and this amazing place of riddles. Speaking about riddles, I'd like to ask you something else. Well, actually, I'm just going to let you go. Dialogues are a little long in this, and I probably want to get doing some other stuff. I guess I could go through the same rigmarole with her just to get her name in there. Your gaze falls upon a young woman of 25 or 30 years of age who's standing by the fire in a very strange position. Judging by the absence of conversation with a rugged companion or any other activity, she's just resting by the fire, probably waiting out the night, but at the same time her body's wrapped in a tailored winter raincoat. It's straight and tense, her shoulders are spread out, and on the while she looks like she's ready to dart off at any second. Although it's not fear, at least you don't notice this emotion on her face, badly lit by the fire. A different, much stranger guess comes to mind. The stranger is standing in an at-attention position, waiting for some order. Apart from this unexpected thing, you also notice a strange low-pitched buzzing coming from a yellow parcel sticking out of the left pocket of the woman's raincoat. As she notices you, the woman flinches as if she woke up from a stupor. She quickly draws an outdated reusable metal syringe from within her coat and grabs it by the plunger as if she is holding a dagger. I'm warning you, another step and I'll have to defend myself. The woman makes a short, sharp nod towards the thick steel needle facing you. I'll explain. Should this mixture of sodium peroxide and aluminum shavings get in the bloodstream of any of my adversaries, it will turn them into a living torch, let alone a nobody like yourself. The woman gets silent, evidently hoping that the speech she gave you will make you flee. Why are you pointing this awful thing at my mug? I'm only came here for a chat in a neighborly sort of way. The woman lowers her scary-looking instrument of self-defense and slowly puts it back in her shirt. Her face looks very serious, but not as intense as just a moment ago. I admit, this flammable mixture is more of a chance of fighting locks and fences than a living opponent. I'm glad that our meeting didn't lead to a field trial of the substance on an adversary made of flesh and blood. You said you wanted to have a conversation. I'd be happy to hear you out. A talk is much more preferable than a fight. I have a couple of questions, if I may. I'm listening. Who are you, actually? The woman nods at you and gives you the short answer. Anastasia B. Nice to meet you. They call me the lucky, unlucky chosen one. The woman looks at you with indifference that you can sense even though you can barely see her eyes in the dark. The woman nods calmly. Names give little gravitas, chosen one, much less than people give them credit for. But I will remember yours, or at least until the time of our conversation. Speaking about conversation, I don't want to ask you anything else. It's kind of like the last one. I'm cutting this short. Yeah, if you continue on with that dialogue, you'll find out that neither one of them can see each other. I'm sure there's a story there, but you can't figure out at that present time. I want to take care of these spiders here. Get some bait for the fisherman that's asking for 20 spider brains. But I'm sure somewhere in this story you figure out maybe what's up with those two. I don't know. It's a pretty in-depth game, so there might be some notes or somebody that knows something. You may have been talking to some ghost for all I know. We'll take out these fellas. Well, here's probably where I should have saved it, because these two puppies here take me out. Spoiler alert, but hey, I'm the lucky, unlucky chosen one. So, it's all par for the course. Ugh. Well, that's gonna be the end of episode 2. I'm not really doing this as a tutorial, but I'm just having fun. Well, I'll blab at you later. Bye.